Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. You're watching Christian Adventure Gamer. I'm your host, Daniel the Paladin. Obviously, I'm doing more miniatures or painting more miniatures or more of the miniatures, should I say, in this video for the Goofy Movie board game. Yeah, with the 30th anniversary going on, I mean, I didn't expect this to kind of happen at the same time, but it just is. So I think it's great that these are coming out around this time. But hey,
right, so
let's
here
take a look
is
at what I've
Goofy.
got so far. Show you what I got done to him so far. There's that patch on the top of the suitcase, got the handle all painted, I got the hinges in the back and the little stubs. I gotta take a look at that to make sure I don't need to do any touch-ups to that. I gotta do a little touch-up on his jacket. But yeah, he's got his little trusty map there. Yeah, there's that. I have a Bobby here. I painted his hair, his shorts, and his sandals, and his skin. I gotta do his face, and his shirt, obviously, and his gloves are all white. And the can of Cheese Whiz. And here is Powerline himself. Ready to bust a move and stand out above the crowd. And here's the Max. He just needs some sealer on him, haven't done that yet. And then PJ, he is all done, sealed, and ready to be played with. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into seeing Goofy and what we need to do for him. Let's go ahead and take a look at this and see what we need to do. Okay, so here is that tanned leather. Touch up around the handle. See little latches that I should have painted. So I'll paint that. And I'll touch up right there. There we go. Looks like the olive green paint shrunk on his sock, so I need to touch that up. All right. So we're doing, while letting some of the other things dry, I am going to actually paint his base. Now I'd like to paint it this fluorescent yellow color, but I don't think that would be a very good color to paint it. So, what if this water elemental is a greenish color? Because it's kind of a lime green on the bottom of the maybe I'll do this. This is kind of a lime green, right? This is a Bullywug hide. Bullywug, W-U-G. Yeah, that might work. All right, so let's take this brush out. Let's get it wet first. I'm gonna kind of just push that. Actually, I'm gonna take him off of this miniature holder and I'll put him on this one because the base, I want to be able to paint the base. And with the other one, it's clipping onto the side of the base, so I'd have to like constantly move him, and that might just make things very, very difficult. So there we go. I need a couple coats of this to kind of cover up some of that other paint. Yeah, there we go. Alright, let's let him dry. Let's see what we can do with power line. All right. I think his base is good enough. Maybe not. Maybe I'll add some more of that yellow here. Flash gets yellow. All right. Let his base dry. Let's get some of that ivory out. We can paint Bobby. All right. Looks like I might need to do another coat of that olive on his shorts. Looks like it shrunk in places. I'm going to do his teeth. And this, he does not have his necklace on. He's got some like kind of like tooth necklace or something. That's what it kind of looked like in the movie. All right. Let's do Roxanne's eye color, like the white of her eyes. And let's do Goofy. Put another coat of that green on his base. There we go. Yeah, he's coming along. He's about done. Goofy is all ready for washing now. No more touch-ups, no more nothing. I'm gonna take a little bit of this fluorescent paint though. I'll put it right on top of this patch. Ooh, a little more than I wanted. There we go. All right. There is the goofster. Yep. He is done. All right, now power line is ready for some wash. Let's use this Lamenter's Yellow. Give it a good shaking, not stirred. All right, and let's use this brush. Oh, it's nice and soft already. All right, so we want this watered down, right? So dip it in there. We go over here, and we're gonna dip it into our water tank that we got here. Start the head and kind of work his way down. Dip, dip. You just kind of work it all the way down, 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 down. Just kind of move it around the base. Get in his mouth, his eyes, his hair, his hands. He's all over his boots. Get all over the base. Get some of the excess yellow off his hands. Make sure it's on the base. All right, he is ready for sealer. All right. All right. Now I'll take a look at what Bobby sandals should have looked like. And I don't know if I got a picture of him with the Cheese Whiz can or not. So Roxanne just has a big brown nose. It's got purple earrings, which I don't know if... Yeah, you can kind of see her ear. Yeah. Kind of see it. It's got like a red label with some cheese on it. It's mostly white. Yeah, I think I can mimic that. All right, let's see here. Let's get some more fire red. Let's get up that basic skin tone. I shake that up real well. Just because it's not looking like it. When I did it yesterday, it was really thin, and I want it thicker because I needed to touch up all the skin because it, you know, kind of shrunk a lot. All right. One thing I can do though is I can go ahead and paint the inside of his glasses, like his actual lenses. And for that, I actually am going to use Shell Shocked. So it's metallic, but it's also got like some flip in it. So it goes from like a greenish to a purple, depending on how you look at it. There we go. Looks like it's working. So I'm gonna get some more of the skin tone. All right, Bubby. Touch up his eyebrow. Now let's do his pants. Metallic on the top of this. All right, so we'll set that there, and let's go ahead and wash Goofy. All right, so for him, we're going to use a green because he's overall green in his miniature. So we're going to use this Bile Tam Green. Yep, Bile Tan Green. And this is a shade, Citadel shade that is. And so let's go ahead and use this here. All right. Dip it in some water, some clean water that is. Cleanish water, and start with his head and move it down. Get more water on that. That green is dark. I'll get off his butt because it looks like he may have had an accident. Ooh, I see a spot I missed. Can I touch it up now? Yep. It just did. All right. All right, he looks good. All right, Goofy is done. Waiting for some sealer on that guy. Oh, Roxanne. Let's do the leathered on her nose since she just has this lightly brown nose. All right, and she's got big black eyes. We can't get that painted up. Yeah. And let's touch up her face. If we can. Pushing the paint, that's all you gotta do is push paint. Yeah. So I'm going to touch up her hair some. Take some of this orange here and some of this red here and mix it together. All right, Roxanne can dry. I'll show you what she looks like so far. Oh, Bobby. So his can has like a little black top, and then it goes into a white. Yep. All right, let's get some this white in there. Fix this can. There we go. All right, let's try some of this purple. All right. Let's see what else can I do. I can put some of that yellow on that can. All right, and then the white tip. Put some of that yellowish orange right on the very, very tip top of this thing. Touch up some skin tone on this guy. So Goofy's done. Power line's done. Now I need to figure out what color shoes that Roxanne actually has. She has white shoes. That'd be pretty simple. Some white tennis shoes. All right. Touch up her eye. All right, let's touch up Bobby's face. Color his hair some more. Quite a bit of shrinkage there. Looks like it was mixed with some yellow as well. It's like a fiery color in there. All right. And so let's look at painting Roxanne's base. Let's use the electric blue because I think the electric blue is a lighter color blue. Yeah, there we go. Let's use that to color her base. So I'll use this brush here to push the paint next to her shoes, and then I will worry about a bigger brush to move it around. All right. Let's use this brush now to kind of push it around. All right, so let's let that dry. Let's go back to Bobby's base. I'm trying to see if we can't add some more white to that. Let's go back and add some of this flip paint to his lenses now that I put a little purple in there. I need to figure out what color his nose is. I don't know if it's black or it's brown. It's black. Let's go a black nose. All right, Bobby, let's get you a black nose. All right, Bobby's about done. Touch up the white on his gloves and touch up his feet and legs. I'm trying to figure out what kind of wash do I want to use on him. I mean, I can use like an orange wash because his red hair and the cheese and whatnot. But his base is white, so I thought about using the Nolan oil. But I guess I'll just have to wait and see. You know, because I really want a lot of his features to pop. I think it'd pop more with the orange, but there we go. His face is all done. I need to touch up his lips though. I guess his face isn't completely done. Yeah, there you go, Bobby. Let him kind of dry right there. All right, what does she need? Need her eyes touched up. Blank the black. Just about gone. Alright. Touch up her skin tone on her face. Now there's some purple. I can actually color her earrings purple. That's a little too much purple. I get some more of that fair skin, or whatever it's called, the basic skin tone. Start transferring paint to different containers because I'm getting tired of having to dab the lids. Or the, like the cap, whatever, the inside cap. The applicator, as I would probably call it. All right, Bobby, what do you need? What do you need? Talk to me. Talk to me. Bobby is a dunned. He just needs some wash. Let that dry for a little bit. And go back to the rock sand. Need some skin tone. Their hands. All right, put a little bit of that tan on her nosy nose. Maybe that's why she looked at his nose too. Yeah, his nose needs a little black. All right, get some of that linen, or not linen, can't talk, ivory white into this book. right, so I got to get the brilliant blue back out. Touch up her pants. See, I think she's about done. All right, she is done. Just needs to be washed. All right, and then let's go ahead and wash Bobby. All right, let's go ahead and use the orange. Make sure it's really watered down. Put some fresh water in there. Submerge it in the water, and then just kind of just wash all over him. Cheddar Wizzy! All right, so let's start taking out some of the pooling that's happening. I think I'm good on that. Don't mind leaving some of that yellow on his mouth. Makes it look like he's been eating some cheese whiz. Shadow Wizzy! Yeah, look at that. All right. He is done. And then last but not least, we have Roxanne that just needs to be washed. And I'm going to use a blue tint on her because her figure is blue. So I will use a Gilliman blue. How about that? So this other one's more of a purple. This Drakenhof Nightshade. All right. Get some water on it. Hopefully it runs down. Runs down. Get on the blue. Get all over the base. Over her shoes, her hair, everything. Make sure it's not pulling. All right, she is done. I got a little too much pulling behind her shoe. Get some of that out of there. All right, now she's done. All right, so here's Roxanne. She's gonna dry. I have Powerline. He's ready to be sealed. And then I have, obviously I just showed you Bobby, but I'll show you him again because he's still drying. All right. And I have the Goofster himself, Mr. Goof. Yuck. And I have PJ all done and said and done and done and said. And then Max. I'll show some pictures to my wife to show my kids because she's out of town. And my daughter was like, when are we going to play Goofy movie board game again? I'm like, hopefully soon. Well, once they're all done drying and getting their sealed on, they're totally ready for play. All right, well, hopefully you enjoyed these videos of me painting these miniatures. Again, I'm going to try to do my best to list the paints that I actually use per miniature. But yeah, I think I like the way they've turned out so far. I'm excited to get them to the table and play with them. So hey, thanks for tuning in. See you guys next time.